Welcome, everybody, to Confessions of a Group X Instructor. I'm here with Janice Jaiks today. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Ellen. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on your podcast.
I'm so excited too. Janice and I go back a few years now, and we're both I think loud and vivacious. And so it's going to be a lively conversation. And today she is going to be talking about what holds us back, like what stops us from getting in the way of our big dreams and goals. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with her. But I thought we could start off with just Janice, maybe tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're tuning in from, and maybe even how we met.
All right. Thank you so much, Ellen. I am in Mesa, Arizona, and I have been in the fitness and wellness industry for many decades, almost 40. Started when I was two. Okay. And I have I'm the creator and founder of Fitness Fest Conference and Expo, and you were there, I think in 24, maybe it was 23. So it's a fitness and wellness conference for the fitness professional, the group fitness instructor, the personal trainer, mind body practitioner. I also I my format is aqua fitness, so I have been an aqua fitness instructor for that long. I have an aqua fitness business here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. I have an aqua fitness certification and a swim lesson business. I actually teach still at my age, still teach swim lessons to small children. So Desert Swim School. Yeah, you may not have known that.
No.
So yeah. So do lots of things. I definitely consider myself an entrepreneur. I have a lot of passion about what I do and the life that I get to live. I get to live my passion and just like you. And so it's great. I'm excited to be on your show. I don't know if you remember how we met, but I do. I don't remember the year because they all get tied in, right? But it was definitely at Idea World.
Hmm?
I think it was LA, and everybody was talking about you.
Oh,
Okay. You gotta meet Ellen. You gotta meet Ellen with the warrior. You gotta meet her. And because when I go to Idea, I search talent, and that's where I get so many of my sponsors and presenters and all that kind of stuff. So they were all talking about you. And I went up to your booth and I introduced myself, and you said, you have to come to my class. You have to feel it. You have to. So I'm like, okay. So I did. I'm like, yep. Oh, I just got goosebumps.
no.
Yep, I loved it. And from there, you came to my event. Do you remember what year
I
that was?
I can probably do the math, and I remember all of that actually. And it was LA, and I want to say it must have been, well, it had to have been the first year Idea came back after the pandemic. It had to have been like 2021, right?
I don't think it was that long.
2022? 2022.
I think it probably
2021.
was.
2021 probably was not, it was probably
Yeah.
still pandemic. Because, okay, I think it was probably ballpark 2022, but I remember vividly all of that. And you did stand out to me. I mean, I'm sure, like, you're right, you're a talent scout. You're looking for talent for your events and presenters and stuff. So I'm sure I was like fresh meat. But
Yeah, you were fresh meat.
that's fresh meat.
I
But
grabbed that fresh meat.
you did grab that
I
fresh
want
meat.
her. I
You
need
did
her.
grab that fresh meat. But I remember just being like honestly struck by your authenticity. You didn't come across as like, oh, I want some sale. I want some, presenter
Yeah.
for my event. You really, I knew that you were just genuinely interested in what I was about and our organization. And I really did feel a connection with you like immediately, and have been, excited to follow you ever since, and present at Fitness Fest, which we're going to talk about at the end of the show, and we have a special
Sure.
code for our audience. So um
Well, thank you for saying that. And you are intuitive and you are such an entrepreneur, and I think so highly of you. So for you to say that about me, and I believe that in myself too. And I believe that me as a leader of Fitness Fest, like our community is a welcoming a welcoming place, and I appreciate that you say that I'm authentic and I'm real, and yeah, and sometimes I say things that I speak my mind, and I am an open book. So there you go.
Okay, so let's dive into the meat and potatoes and the heart of what you're going to bring our incredible crew today. Why do you think, what do you think, why do you think people don't achieve their goals?
I think there's a few reasons, of course. And one of the things I'm going to say is be realistic and honest, not just with other people, but with yourself. I'm just going to give kind of an example that just happened to me recently. A very good videographer was doing a bunch of filming with us for the first time. I met him for the first time last Thursday. We filmed for, social media clips and all that for about 3 or 4 hours. And he's like, okay, I'm going to get them all edited tonight. I'm like, okay, well, just got them done today, which is more realistic. Just tell me, probably 48 hours or what. So be honest, tell it like it is to other people and to yourself, because what are you going to think about that person or that business if they say that, and is it BS, or does that person really just don't is not realistic about how much time things take? How can you edit 6 or 7 or 8 videos in that night? So that, like, and then I also, which you may not know, I have since I've been in business for so long and have made so many mistakes, I'd like to share them and help other people. I have a passion for helping other, usually women, start their business, if they're stuck in their business, get out of a rut kind of thing. So I do that. And I have had potential clients. It makes me think of this one woman who works at a big box gym, which is great as a personal trainer. But when I did some math for her, I go, do you realize that you're making about 12 to 15 bucks an hour and working your butt off? And she wanted to start her own business, but she worked with me one time, me consulting her, and then I never heard from her again. And even with follow, like, why? You want to get out of it. Why? Hire a coach. I'm not saying hire me. Like, get a coach, get some help. Like, I don't know if she needs to get out of her own way, or if she didn't have the support of a spouse. That has something to do with it too, don't you think? I mean, I think you have support of family, um
Oh,
right, and
my
yeah.
husband does everything in the world so that I can pursue I mean, I have so much support and people think I'm superwoman and I'm not. I just have someone that will do the grocery shopping, clean the bedding, walk the dogs. Like I just have so much support. Yes,
Yeah,
agreed.
right. Yeah, and believes in what you do.
Mm.
I follow you on social, and I've seen him from time to time, believes in what you do, and helps you out with that. And just like, why do people not achieve their goals? Like, is it a gene in you? It's like,
Yeah.
was it a gene in you that said, like, I was so impressed with the branding and the team, and like, how the flip? And you did it fairly quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it didn't seem like that to you, but the posse you have, and the filming, and also taking chances. That's another thing, is people are afraid to. I'm sure you must have spent a buckload of money to go to Idea, to come to me, to, all those things, but you took a chance on yourself. And a lot of it is, what's your why, right? Like,
Yeah.
why do you want to do it, and get the support? So, like I said, a lot of reasons. Support, get her done, man. Just,
Yeah.
if you really want it, you can do it. Don't
Yeah.
stop making excuses,
Yeah.
right?
I had to really learn. I had to learn to trust myself to make
Mhm.
decisions. And like you said, you made a million wrong decisions. I've made a million wrong decisions too. But I used to be stuck. Fear of like, I need to be perfect. I need to do this right. What if I fail? There was fear around it. And I just, I got unstuck and I just started to trust myself to make decisions. So I make quick decisions.
Mhm.
I move fast and make quick decisions. And if a decision I make wasn't the right one, then
You
I
learn from it,
then I learn
right?
from it and I course
Yeah,
correct to the best of my ability and we keep it moving. So it takes a lot of like balls and courage and trust
yeah.
and like willingness to otherwise, and like your analogy about the videographer that you use, I'm also very opposite of that. So that was a good if you see me get up like this, everybody, it's because my dogs like sometimes need out and in after chasing squirrels. So but you know how you gave that analogy of the videographer? I'm also the opposite of that. So that was a
Yeah,
good example too, because I will actually like I don't talk about what I'm doing until it is like I will not
did plan.
overpromise. I will
Yeah.
not overpromise. I would rather over deliver. I would rather surprise
Mhm.
people. Like
Yeah.
instead of talking, big talk, big bark and no bite, I would rather just
Put
silently
your
get
money where
ready
your
and
mouth
find.
is. Yeah. And you feel good about that. And
Mhm.
then other people, whether it's your customers or your colleagues or your family, they come to, I believe in her. I know, like when you're somebody like you, like people who know you, they are going to they know you're good for your word. I'm the
Mhm.
same way. They know I'm good for my word. I'm not going to BS you. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we can probably say bullshit on your
Yeah, yeah,
particular
please.
podcast, but I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay. I'm not going to tell you I can have something for you in 2 hours when I can't. I'm not
Mhm.
going to tell you that I can help you with your bookkeeping because that's the first thing I did when I started my business. I was hired a bookkeeper because I knew I sucked at it. So, yeah,
So wait, you do bring up a really interesting thing when you're like, is it a gene? That's like a great question.
uh-huh.
I feel like maybe there is some type of predisposition maybe that I have for leadership just because I remember even growing up even like that people kind of wanted to follow what I was doing. Like if I started to wear, I don't know, knee-high socks, other people would wear knee-high socks. If I started to wear bright red lipstick, people would wear. I've noticed I've always sort of been a little bit of a trendsetter my whole life. So part of me thinks maybe there is an innate part of the go-getters that get shit done, that achieve their big, huge goals. But I also think so much of it is work I've done on myself. I was a pleaser. I never said no to anybody. I never had any boundaries. So there was a lot of also like work, nature versus nurture. There was obviously a lot of nurture and growth, personal development, personal growth that I and hard work that I had to do on myself to be someone that could trust myself to make decisions that you need to be able to do in business. So
Well, you probably ended up realizing you had to get boundaries, though. I have a feeling, right?
yeah.
Like you,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
not
To
not so
survive.
much. We
To
can't be
survive.
we can't be complete people
Can't.
pleasers
You
and
can't.
have successful businesses
You
and
can't.
grow from there.
Or
For
even sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but even like there's group fitness managers too that listen to the show. Even as a that was actually probably like phase one of me starting to get a spine and starting to get a thicker skin is the first time I stepped into a management role because you just can't please everyone and you have to be able to have hard conversations. You have to be able to fire people. It's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah, it doesn't
You
feel good, but I've had
have
to
to
fire
be able
many people.
yeah, and you have to give feedback to an instructor
Yeah,
that you love. So I think that was like the beginning. It takes time. It's taken me so many years to develop the like go-getterness, the leadership that I have now. But
yeah.
what other
I just want to
solution?
say real quick
Oh,
about the gene thing. My dad, and I don't know if your parents were entrepreneurs. My dad was an entrepreneur.
my mom.
So I wonder if that,
Mhm.
if that had something to do. I mean, in business, everyone was, oh, you've been in business for 40 years. Like, what's the percentage? I think it's like 10% or less of people who stay in business for more than a year or 10, whatever. So
Oh, well,
feel
guess
good about
what? Guess what? Most like it's like 90% of people quit podcasting after episode 7.
it.
So it's just like,
Oh,
why?
you could,
What?
I
What?
was on your, I was on your podcast. Oh, I remembered when we were going to get on, like, I don't know, it was very much in the beginning, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
we're almost at episode 100. So,
Wow.
it's yeah, it's like, you
It's
know,
a lot of work,
it's mhm.
So, yeah.
Okay, what type of solutions or methods would you think might be helpful in getting things done?
Well, and a lot of people talk about this, like, okay, what's your plan for the week? Okay, whether you plan it Sunday night or Monday morning, maybe it's Wednesday night, right? Do you have a paper planner? Do you have a digital? Do you have a combo, right?
Yeah.
I'm an old school, I have paper, I do digital too, but if I don't put it in my paper, like I usually don't put my nail appointment in my paper and then oh my God, I forgot my nail appointment. So I have to have it in there. So I think planning, but also planning the deep work, the important work, because we have so much mundane shit that we have to do. And we tend to do that stuff because we feel we have to. So we do it and we put it in our calendar. And then, like, the week's gone. Let's just say I want to write a blog, which I don't, but I'm just going to use that as an easy example, or a course, or whatever. I have, when I have my best weeks, my most productive weeks, I do the deep work or the productive work. I put it in my calendar. Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., I'm going to start my blog. I've already had an idea of what I want to write, and I put it in my calendar. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pomodoro technique.
No.
It's whenever I use it, like I said, the productivity. So you turn all your devices off. Well, you have to have your phone on because you have a clock. You
Okay.
25 minutes. If you look it up, I spelled it somewhere in Pomodoro technique. You put your timer on for 25 minutes. They've done studies, so somehow they came up with 25 minutes. And then and then your timer goes off. You have a 5-minute break. You put it on for 25 again. It's amazing how you get into that deep work. Like, let's say you're creating a new warrior course and
Yeah.
you get distracted. How many times do we get distracted on stuff, right? But this, for whatever reason, and then often I'm like, okay, I can go more than an hour and a half, but you have to schedule it. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
That's
I
amazing.
know.
And I
It's
just
Yeah,
feel like 25 minutes isn't that intimidating. Like if you're like, oh,
right.
it's gonna be a
I got to do
3 hour.
something. Really? Do you really want to write for an hour and a half?
I
No.
love that.
It's kind of an example, and I was just talking to Trisha Murphy Madden, and she owed me some stuff for Fitness Fest, and she goes, "Oh, I love plane rides because a long plane ride. Not we hate long plane rides, but the one good thing about it, if you can, there's no distractions except for them coming for the lousy snacks.
Dude,
So, right? Do you do that
dude,
too?
I like
You're right.
grind.
I love it.
Me
And
too. I love
oh,
it so much. But the worst is when you're like ready and you're like, I'm gonna grind, and then all of a sudden United's Wi-Fi doesn't work. I'm just
yeah,
like
right,
so
right.
angry.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and it's kind of like that's a really good example. But then even going to a Starbucks to work, even
Yeah.
getting outside of where you usually
Yes.
are really helps the thought process. I'm sure there's a lot of science behind that I don't know, but so the calendar, the Pomodoro method, getting on a long flight. I also am blown away when you can email somebody from that high up. It's kind of mind blowing, isn't it? So that's cool too. And my favorite saying is, "How do you eat an elephant?
One
One bite
bite
at a
at
time."
same. I think about
Like,
that all the time.
yeah, like imagine the courses that you've created. Like, I can't imagine how overwhelming that was. And the example of so I started my Fitness Fest conferences 29 years ago. I'm Aqua Fitness. I did some aqua workshops. That's how it started. And they were really successful. People liked me. I guess that's my why. I guess because I'm an egomaniac. I don't know. And then I'm like, I'm going to have, that's not supposed to be your why, but I think if you're a fitness instructor, you get a little bit of ego, right? Oh, people like me. Yay. Very, very cool. So I started Fitness Fest. I could only attract aqua people because that's who I was and that's how people followed me. You probably know Jay Blanick, and I think a lot of your followers, especially us old schoolers, know he was just an icon in the industry. I
Yeah.
had him at my first event.
Wow.
I had to beg people to go into his class, BJ Blanick in the step class because they didn't. So I had to go, okay, how do I attract the group fitness instructor? What's my marketing strategy? How do I attract the personal trainer? What's my strategy? Like all these ideas. So it built up then mind, body, and then of course COVID hit and
Right.
that. So just that's the like your studio that you're opening.
Yeah.
your soft opening, I just plugged you on Monday. And maybe this podcast will go on after that. But like I think you thought about it a long time ago, I assume, right?
I mean, I've been teaching for 25 years, and one of the gals who, front row diva, I call them FRDs, front row divas. She has been with me for years and years and years. And so she said to me the other day, she's like, I remember you talking about owning your own
Mm-hmm,
studio back when you taught at Gateway, and that was 20 years ago. So,
mm-hmm.
and then like, years ago, I started looking when like commercial real estate spaces would come open. I would look, sometimes
Yeah,
park out of my
yeah, yeah.
car, go look in the window. So it
Yeah,
just, yeah, it's has been a seed from the beginning, and yeah, yeah, and I'm going after my big old dream.
I
So
love it.
it's happening.
It's so cool. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, you go, girl.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
to oh,
and you
go.
weren't quite, that just the steps along the way, and like now is the time,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and it's like and okay, let me just say that I might release this episode before I release another episode, because I really do want to tell the audience about the whole studio opening thing. So that'll be a different episode that will come before or after this, we don't know. But it's perfect. It's the perfect thing to mention in the context of your topic today with me, because it's absolutely, utterly, and totally terrifying. It's a humongous leap of faith, and it's the scariest business venture I've ever tackled, because the other one kind of organically blossomed and fell in my lap, and I scaled it as it sort of just snowballed. And as it grew, I would add another format, and it would grow, and I would add another format. So,
You're making it sound like it's simple. Come on.
no, it's not simple. And in fact, opening this brick and mortar, again, that's for another episode. I don't want to hijack this podcast to talk about it, but what was involved in opening this studio is absolutely mind-blowing. Like
Yeah,
things I never thought I would
you'd
ever
have to
have to
do.
consider, like
Yeah.
how big the bathroom counter has to be for a wheelchair to spin around. Like
Mm,
the details are mind-blowing. But anyway, back to this, what you said about your methods and your planning and your calendar. I want to get back to that. I do a combo of paper and digital.
uh-huh.
I'm kind of like OCD. I run kind of like terrified all the time. Like I run anxious, you know, like but I like it like that. Like
Yeah.
it keeps my
You
energy
thrive
high.
on it. And yeah, and that's what, I don't know, the word's not help, but enables you to be an entrepreneur. Like if we were mellow people,
No, totally.
you gotta, I
Yeah,
mean, you gotta have some balance. I believe it or not, meditate in the morning. My husband says, really, it's not helping. I'm like, okay, I know,
mhm.
but maybe it is.
Yeah,
Gotta
if
have
I
that
was
balance
still,
too. But yeah,
yes. I don't have good balance. I'm working on it, but maybe someday. No, I have a little bit of balance, but not as much as I should. But I definitely run, I
yeah,
kind of percolate anxious and terrified. But I do what kind of grounds me and keeps me productive and achieving the goals that I have is something that you said about the calendar. I do a combination of digital, using actually Google Calendar. I actually did an episode about it once, but I color code things. So if it's marketing,
mhm,
it's always yellow. If it's a do or die, gotta get it done today, urgent thing, or just an appointment with someone, like you and I had a meeting, like I can't miss
yeah,
that. It goes
yeah,
in red. Like this
yeah,
is a non-negotiable for the day. It goes in red, like
right.
alarm. And then I have a bunch, and then my classes are always the mint color green, like those. And
And
then
you probably don't forget those, right?
I
Even though
don't
you put them in, right?
know,
You don't
unless I'm
forget that.
subbing, unless you know how you
Oh
gotta sub
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like
That's
scared.
another story,
That's
right? Yeah,
terrifying. But then all the stuff I want to get done, I put in a different color. And then I can, with Google Calendar, I can drag it. If I don't get it done, I can drag it to the next day, drag it to the next day, drag it to the next. And then, but
right.
also every night before I shut her down, I review, then I look at the week at a glance. I have like a kind of a global perspective of what needs to happen for the week, for the month, for the quarter, but for the next day. And then I like to take pen and paper, and it might even be the back of an envelope that came in the mail, a piece of scratch paper. But every night, I do write down, even if it's take a shower, what I need to get done the next day. and I put a star next to the non-negotiables.
This
And
is
then,
my favorite. This is my favorite toy.
yeah.
Highlight, I
Yeah.
did it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And then there's so much satisfaction in
Yeah,
crossing things off. And I don't cross everything off. I never get to everything I want to in a day
right.
ever. But as long as I'm getting those, the ones with the star, as long as I'm getting those done and as many of the other things as I can. And then the other thing I was going to tell you, but I know we got to move on because we have so much to still cover. But the other thing I was going to say is it's funny that you said about the 25/5, which I'd never heard of. But
Yeah,
I tend to work for like 50 minutes, and then I try to give myself a 10-minute break, whether it's coffee or let the dog out or just something to get my eyes off the computer or make a phone call, something to get off of the project I'm on. So that was
yeah. It's a
it
good.
funny that I do 50/10 and you talked about
Yeah,
25/5.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
working for you, right? So it's
Okay.
it's it's the Deward method. It's the Deward
Yeah.
versus the Pomodoro
Right,
method.
right, right, right,
That'll go
right.
in the books too. What?
Okay, so what if we want to take on a bigger goal or dream? Like what's our how do we tackle that?
So I think, we kind of touched on it, like how do I get to attracting how do I get to the bigger numbers and
Oh, right.
attracting all the formats on that? And how do you get to your
Right.
studio? It's just plugging it in, knowing the end goal,
Yeah.
knowing your why, putting things together. Obviously, if my goal is to reach 500 people in 5 years, then I wouldn't. I just step by step kind of things. I wouldn't be 5 year. I wouldn't pick a five-year calendar from now because that would be like, I don't know. Maybe some people do that, but so
Yeah.
just being diligent, like you said, looking at the day. Okay, missed this, so I'm going to put on the next day.
Yeah.
Just taking the action steps
Yeah.
that it needs to reach your goal.
Yeah.
Opening a studio, doing another course. Okay, you want to write an article, want to write a book, like, and then getting the help, getting the coach or
Yes.
the mentor or whatever, because we can't. I don't know. I don't think anyone can do it by themselves. And
No.
sometimes, like the example of the woman who I know I could have helped her. Like, why would you be so qualified and so certified and so good at what you do and not want to, and it's not just about the money. I mean,
No.
most fitness instructors we're not in it, they're not in it for the money,
No.
right? But they want to help people, they want to make a difference. But isn't our time more valuable than
Yeah.
making $12 an hour when you could make 50 or 20, 50, 70, whatever? So
Yeah.
just why get out of your own way? Take the action steps, take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
If you don't have the support you need at home, freaking get help somewhere else. I'm not
Right.
going to tell you
Right.
it's your spouse, but get
Well,
help somewhere.
maybe. Well, maybe. I mean,
Well,
maybe.
maybe that's another episode. But
Um,
and then habits, creating the good habits. Like you have good habits, I have good habits. Are there weeks or days I don't? Oh, yeah, of course. Did I miss the stuff? So, but creating the good habits, knowing what good habits are, taking the breaks, like you said, or putting things in your calendar. That's what it takes. Is creating good habits. And how long does it take to create a good habit? Well, some people say, you know, 20 day, whatever they say. But whatever it is, determine what you need to do, create that new habit, use your calendar, get your help, action steps, like hire that coach or start that article, listen to there's so much online stuff of how to write a book or whatever. So that's what I would say about your bigger goal. Know what it is, know your why. Do you really want it, and is it
right.
realistic?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
sometimes you think you want something and you really don't.
That's
So,
right. Sometimes you think something is the way it is, like, and you find out, it isn't really what you want. Like,
mhm.
I don't know, being a master trainer, like, there's a lot of administrative work. Like, it's not just like glam and glory and
Glorified. Yeah,
glitter. Yeah, like,
yeah.
or being a studio owner. Like, are you sure you want that? It's a lot of work. So yeah. But what if, okay, so I'm sure we have people listening that feel stuck.
Hmm.
Do you have any specific, like, how do we get unstuck if we're feeling stuck, or if they're listening and they're like, well, I don't think I have that gene, but I have big goals. What do I do?
you don't, we shouldn't have said that about the jeans because everybody's got it. If
Yeah.
you really want it, go after it. For me, like my aqua fitness certification, like it scary. It was overwhelming. I think I started it like 15 years ago and it was all in person and then COVID hit. And then, oh my gosh, I had to do online modules.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, no, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, this is like almost gave up on it.
Yeah.
But actually, I think you know Tyler Valencia.
Yeah.
He helped me create the online portion of my course because he's got that technical stuff. So if you're stuck, I mean, I know I've already said this, but I think that's my best answer is get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Think about who you can hire or even if, or who can help you get that done. And I think so many people, oh, I know this is really mean to say, but oh, I don't have the money to do that. Well, then you don't really want it.
Yeah.
You don't really want it if you don't want to spend like I said, you must have put out a lot of cash to
Yeah.
start, going all over the
Oh
country,
man, I'm writing the biggest checks you've ever seen all the time. It's
right?
wild.
But you believed in yourself.
Yeah.
It's just, you've got to believe in yourself, believe in your product or service,
Yeah.
and then freaking go for it.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah. I
So,
love that. Thank you. Do you think fear is like the biggest barrier?
yes and no, because I think we tend to have imposter syndromes. Like, oh, how can I lead a fitness conference, or how can I, have this business? How can I create a water aerobic certification? Like, who the heck do I think I am? I'm not AEA, right? But so some of it's imposter syndrome, just plain fear of failure.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's fear of success. What if I like, whoa, wait a minute, that's,
Yeah.
that's a lot. But I say no, because sometimes we already said it about figuring out your why, knowing that's really what it's all about, and then going for it. So
That's
that's
great.
that's all
That's
I have to
great.
say about that.
That is great
Right?
stuff. Yeah, I love this topic. I mean, it speaks to my very heart and soul. I'm definitely a dreamer and a go-getter, and I keep doing things that I've never attempted and never done. I had my own first conference also this last year, and I led my own first
Oh
retreat,
yeah, that's
international
right.
retreat, and I just keep tackling things that frankly I don't know how to do, but I figure it out, and it's
Yeah, you
always
do.
it's scary and beautiful and so deeply fulfilling to me. So thank you for talking about this to my audience. I will piggyback on your topic when I dive into the opening of the first ever Warrior Studio.
I can't wait to hear about it. I just want to say one thing because you just mentioned about purpose. It's like I have to say I feel bad for people who have don't live are not excited about what they do for their life, for their career,
Yeah.
whatever that may be. Like, okay, let's say you're a mom. I'm not gonna say just a mom. Just you love that and you find
Yeah.
purpose in it and you are bringing joy to great.
Yeah.
But long as you feel that, like, what is your purpose? Like, drive yourself to that. Be your best self. Like, this
Yeah.
is one flip in life.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine driving on the Phoenix freeways, traffic, getting it, hate it, oh my God, shoot me.
Yeah.
So,
You-
what's your purpose? What's your why? And go for it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You don't need the Ellen and Janice gene. You got it. You got this, girl or boy,
Yes.
right?
Yes. That's a great, thank you. I love that. Thank you for circling back to that. Yes. Okay, so before you give us a confession for the day, tell us a little bit about Fitness Fest. It's in April. Tell us the dates, the location, all the
Oh,
things.
love
And
it.
I heard you are giving our audience a little code. So,
Yes.
tell us about that.
So if you can save $25 if you use Ellen 25 at checkout.
Okay.
I assume you put the website and stuff in your notes,
In
or
the show notes. We'll put it all in the show notes.
okay. It's fitnessfest.org, but fitnessfest.org/fitnessfest kind of gets to them faster. Like, so Fitness Fest is a fitness and wellness event for the group fitness instructor, the serious fitness enthusiasts, because we need more instructors, as
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
personal trainer, yoga, Pilates, mind body practitioner, aqua instructor, of course. So we have 50 or 60 breakout sessions, April 17th through 19th, Ability 360 Sport and Rec Center in Phoenix. It's kind of near the airport. It wasn't where oh, yes, it was where you were at.
That
That's
was
right.
the coolest facility, that 360 one.
Yeah, Ability
That was
360.
lovely. Yeah, that was a lovely.
Yeah, we have a so they have so we have a big basketball court where we have half is the expo where exhibitors, we welcome more exhibitors, fitness clothing, education. We have red light therapy this year, and then the other side is the action. Surge Fit is there, Zumba. So we have everything from when I say personal training, like I think that our industry, and of course, Ruben, older adults, active aging, corrective exercise, we have presenters who come from all over the country to share their passion and their expertise in many different formats. So there's something for the personal trainer, the serious personal trainer, or the one who's just trying to get into it, the group fitness instructor, the aqua instructor, bar, Pilates, athletic aging, yoga. We have the round table. We have a neurologist who's going to be talking at the round table with this blue zone. So much stuff, so much variety. April 17th through 19th. On the 16th is pre-con day. So we have actually, this is probably the first time we've had an actual group fitness certification. We have
Yeah.
AAAI group fitness certification. Dylan Hardy is the CEO of that company, been around for as long as Ace, which I didn't know, but he's a great guy. And then we have my aqua fitness certification because I'm the owner. I can do whatever I want. So I will be there. I'll be present. And then we have a special populations aqua. So the 16th, April 16th through the 19th is the event in Phoenix, Arizona. Lots of choices there. And then also, if you don't mind me plugging my JaniceJaiks.com, if anybody wants to coach with me, and I'll
Awesome.
share so you don't have to make those mistakes. No. And like you said, anything we did that, probably should have gone a different route. If you don't learn from it, like are bad, right? So I think I said it all about Fitness
That's
Fest.
great.
You
All
use
right.
Ellen 25 and save some money. Would love to see you.
Yeah. All right.
Lots
So
of fun, lots of energy.
what is your confession?
Okay, since this is in particular called Confessions of a Group Fitness Instructor,
Yes.
I can't I can't dance for shit. I can't keep a beat. I am Elaine from Seinfeld. Okay, I love to dance. I love it. And couple glasses of Chardonnay and I'm your girl. I mean, I'll dance anyway. But as far as like, I would never be able to be like a Zumba instructor or a yeah. So that's why I teach water, I guess.
That's
That's my
amazing.
confession.
That was awesome. That
Come
was
dance with me.
Elaine from Seinfeld. That was the best. I love it. You nailed it. That's so good. I love it. I never know like what people are gonna say for their confession. So I'm like, don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
perfect. I'm a little bit like you. Like I love to dance. I'm so musical, but I just never
Yeah,
really got I never really got into the dance formats. So
yeah. Well, and yeah, I love to sing too, and I
me
really
too. I
suck.
sing all
But
the time.
but
I
I
tell my classes like the more sleep I get at night, the more I sing during class. So anyway, but thank you so much for coming
oh,
on the
thank you. This was
show.
so fun.
So
Yeah.
fun. And thank you everybody for tuning in and go get your big dreams.
Yes. Go. You can
Okay.
do it.
Bye everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you, everybody.